Group A. Benfica-Manchester United. A mistake from young goalkeeper Miles Feller gave all 3 points to Manchester United, which can feel safe for qualification. The Red Devils might have not been impressive as previous games, but they were able to keep the forward line of Benfica silent and also to create the best chances for the win. United is 6 points ahead of the third place, which means that a win against Benfica at home in 2 weeks clinches qualification. For Benfica, things are not easy. With 0 points in 3 games, it will most possibly focus on winning a ticket for Europa League. CSKA Moscow-Basel. After the big win against Benfica on the previous fixture, Basel was able to win CSKA 2-0 in Russia. The goals from Xhaka and Oberlin have put Basel on the second place, but there is nothing granted yet. The away win is very important, but it will need to repeat this on the game against CSKA in 2 weeks in Switzerland. The Russian team is not at the best position right now, as it is placed 3 points behind Basel and has to give away games in Switzerland with Basel and in England with Manchester United. Group B. Anderlecht Paris Saint-Germain. The French side couldn't wish for a better start on the group stage. 3 wins out of 3, 12 goals scored and none conceded. 3 minutes into the game, PSG got in front with Kylian Mbappé. The French forward then assisted Cavani to make it 2 just before the break. Things were easy for PSG in the second half, with Neymar scoring the third and Di Maria the fourth. There is no doubt that PSG will qualify, but for Anderlecht things are very hard. It collected no points yet and lost heavily to all games. The third place, which was the real target for the club, seems to be a very difficult task. BAYERN Munich-CELTIC. The goals of Müller, Kimmich and Hummels gave a 3-0 home victory to BAYERN Munich, which remains second, 3 points behind PSG. The score margin could have been even higher, but the hosts missed many clear opportunities. If BAYERN wins Celtic in 2 weeks, it clinches qualification. For Celtic, the target is the Europa League, which is something that can be achieved, given that for the moment the team stands 3 points ahead of Anderlecht and has the 3-0 away advantage in case of equal points. Group C. QARABAG-ATLETICO Madrid. The failure of Atletico to win this game puts the team in trouble, as it collected just 2 points so far and is 5 points away from Chelsea and 3 away from Roma. 2 of the 3 last games are at home and must win both in order not to have troubles. It will also be benefited if Chelsea wins Roma in 2 weeks at Olimpico. If Roma wins Chelsea, then things will be very hard for Atletico, which will need to win all 3 of its games in order to qualify. Chelsea-Roma. When Chelsea got 2-0 ahead with the goals of David Luiz and Eden Hazard, everything looked certain for Chelsea to collect all 3 points. 2 goals from Edin Dzeko and 1 from Alexander Kolarov turned things around before Eden Hazard scored his second goal and gave a vital point to his team. With both teams being very good offensively but disappointing in defense, everything is possible on the game of Roma. In any case, the 2 teams have an advantage over Atletico for the moment. Chelsea will need another 5 points in order to qualify, while Roma will most probably be okay with another 6. Group D. Barcelona-Olympiacos. Barcelona got a comfortable win over the Greek champions despite playing for the whole second half with 10 players. An own goal from Nicolau put Blaugrana in front on the 18th minute, but Gerard Piqué was sent off on the 42nd after he received a second yellow for handball. A direct free kick from Lionel Messi on the 61st and another one from Lucas Digne on the 64th gave a solid lead to Barcelona, as Olympiacos only managed to score a late consolation goal with Nicolau. With 9 points, the Catalans must be considered as qualified, while Olympiacos will need to collect at least 6 more points in order to have chance for the third place. Juventus-Sporting Club. A goal from Mario Mandzukic on the 84th minute gave the win to Juventus, which moved on the second place. Sporting got in front with an own goal from Alex Sandro on the 12th minute, but Miralem Pjanic equalized for Bianconeri on the 29th with a direct free kick. Coming from bad results recently, including a draw against Atalanta and a defeat against Lazio, Juventus had a poor start on the first 20 minutes. After the goal of the visitors, it looked more revived and eventually turned things. The difference between them is just 3 points and nothing has been decided yet. A win for Juventus in Portugal will possibly be decisive. Group E. MARIBOR-LIVERPOOL. It was a big win for Liverpool, which managed to win its first Champions League game of the season. It was a great display by all players, with Salah and Firmino scoring twice while Coutinho, Chamberlain and Arnold scored once. Liverpool is on equal points with Spartak Moscow and nothing is over yet. Another 5 points on the remaining 3 games should be enough. Maribor might have lost heavily, but there are still some hopes. It will however need to win at least 2 of the remaining games. Spartak Moscow-Sevilla. Spartak Moscow was expected to give everything to win this game, but no one would think that the game would end on a 5-1 victory. Spartak got in front with promise on the 18th minute, but Sevilla equalized 12 minutes later with Kjaer. The goalkeeper of Spartak, Selikov, made crucial save before and after half-time, and his team eventually got in front again on the 58th minute with Melgarejo. Sevilla pushed forward, leaving gaps in defense, as the hosts scored 3 more goals with Glushakov, Adriano, and Promes. The game between them in Seville will possibly decide a lot about qualification, as Spartak is just 1 point ahead. Group F. FEYENOORD-SHAKHTAR Donetsk. The Ukrainian side won the game 2-1 and moved 3 points ahead of Napoli. The hosts got in front on the 8th minute with Berguiz, but Shakhtar equalized on the 24th with Bernard. The same player gave the lead to the visitors on the 54th minute, and Shakhtar managed to keep the advantage until the end despite playing for 15 minutes with 10 players after the red card of Yaroslav Rakitsky. The chances for Feyenoord to make it even to the Europa League have been dramatically diminished. On the other hand, Shakhtar looks assured for the 3rd place, but since it is placed 2nd for the moment, it will give a big battle for the round of 16. Manchester City-Napoli. The 2 early goals from Raheem Sterling and Gabriel Jesus were proved vital and decisive for Manchester City, as Napoli put much pressure later and could have taken at least a point. After the 2nd goal, City missed 2 very good chances, with De Bruyne hitting the post and Koulibaly clearing the ball off the line after the effort of Stones. Napoli then put pressure to the hosts and missed a crucial penalty on the 38th minute with Mertens. On the second half, the pressure paid off as it was awarded another penalty where Diawara converted on the 73rd minute. The score remained at 2-1 and Guardiola enjoyed a big win, which gives his team a big advantage for qualification. In 2 weeks the 2 teams will face each other in Naples, with the hosts desperate for a win. Group G. Leipzig-Porto. Leipzig won its first ever game on a continental competition and are moved on the 2nd place of the group. A dreadful defensive game by both teams gave a half-time 3-2 lead for the hosts, who managed to keep their advantage until the end. Goals by Orban, Forsberg and Augustin gave 1-0 and 3-1 advantage for Leipzig, and Abubakar and Marcano scored for Porto. Leipzig might be 2nd for the moment, but the difference from Porto and Monaco is 1 and 3 points respectively. It will give away games against Porto and Monaco, and on the last game will face Besiktas at home on a game that the Turkish side most probably will be already qualified. MONACO-BESIKTAS. Besiktas must be considered qualified after the win in France, as the Turkish club won all 3 games and has a 5-point difference from the 2nd team and 6 from the 3rd. In other words, in order not to qualify it must lose all 3 remaining games, and at the same time Leipzig must win 2 of its games and Monaco or Porto to win all 3 games. Monaco managed to get in front with Falcao on the 30th minute, but Besiktas equalized 4 minutes later through Tosun. The same player gave the lead to the visitors 8 minutes after the break, and Besiktas kept the win until the end. Monaco might be last with 1 point, but everything can change since the difference is just 3 points from the 2nd place. It will definitely need to collect points immediately though, and it will be good to start from the game against Besiktas in 2 weeks. Group H. APOEL-Borussia Dortmund. The German side was unable to deliver a win and is facing the serious danger of elimination. There is a 6-point difference from Tottenham and Real Madrid, so Dortmund must win all 3 remaining games in order to have real chances for qualification. Borussia started the game well, but gradually APOEL got very well organized and didn't allow much space for the visitors. Miguel Pate put the hosts in front on the 62nd minute, but 5 minutes later Papastathopoulos equalized. On the final minutes the visitors tried to score a second but hit the post twice. Real Madrid-Tottenham. The big game of Tuesday ended on a 1-1 draw, with both teams feeling happy since Dortmund was unable to win. Tottenham must be happy though, since it got an away point and is still first on the group. The important thing however is the qualification, since there will be good teams on the second place as well, so nothing guarantees a good draw on the knockout stage. Tottenham got in front with the own goal of Varane on the 28th minute. Cristiano Ronaldo managed to equalize from the penalty spot before half-time, but his team was never able to find a second, with Hugo Lloris making some crucial blocks. Do you think that Borussia Dortmund has chances for qualification to the next stage of Champions League? Let us know your opinions in the comments below. Thanks for watching.